want to talk to you today about the antidote for anxiety. We all have opportunities to live anxious and worried about the future and wondering what's going to happen with our children, our finances, our health. There's always something trying to steal our peace. If you watch the news, you hear about inflation, violence, wars, division. A recent article talked about how we're in an epidemic of anxiety. There's never been so much coming against our mental health. But that's not the way we were created to live. The scripture says, cast all your anxieties on Him. One antidote for anxiety is you have to give it to God. You can't go around carrying everything, trying to figure it all out, living in tomorrow, wondering how it's going to work out. What if my health doesn't improve? And what if my company has layoffs? And this family member did me wrong. I got to fix that. You're weighing yourself down, carrying things you were never meant to carry. That's why you can feel worn out and not able to sleep at night. Do yourself a favor and start casting those anxieties. They're going to come, but if you're going to stay in peace, you have to get good at turning them over to God. The word cast is an action word. When you're fishing, you cast the rod. It's not a complacent, underhand, let me just toss it out there. No, you forcefully swing your arm and aggressively flick your wrist. There's action and energy. In the same way, anxiety is not going to just fall off of you. Worry is not going to go away on its own. You can't just sit back and hope that things will change. You have to do some casting. When thoughts come, what's going to happen with your children? There's so many distractions these days, they're going to probably get in trouble. You can dwell on those thoughts, let them weigh you down, cause them to live anxious, or you can say, no thanks, my children are in God's hands. Father, thank you that you're protecting them, causing them to make good decisions, that as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. You know what you did? You just cast those anxieties on Him. Well, have you seen the news about the economy, inflation, gas prices? What if things keep going up? What if your business doesn't make it? What if you can't pay your bills? The enemy would love for you to worry about things that are never going to happen. He'd love for you to miss the beauty of this day because you're so anxious about tomorrow. Don't fall into that trap. God has not failed you in the past, and He's not going to fail you now. My father used to say when I was growing up, if bread goes to $1 a loaf and gasoline to $1 a gallon, God will take care of us. If Daddy could see us now. God is faithful. Let me tell you, if prices go up, the good news is God's provision is going to go up. God is not up in heaven saying, man, I didn't see this coming. I didn't know inflation was going to be this high. God owns it all. He makes streets out of gold. You get stressed looking at the future, anticipating the worst. Higher cost, higher bills. What you're not anticipating is the goodness of God. David said, I was young, now I'm old. I have never once seen the righteous forsaken. Instead of carrying that anxiety, do yourself a favor, start casting it. I read where the largest increase in anxiety is among young people. There's so much pressure these days with social media. There's the comparison. Am I good enough? Pretty enough? Smart enough? Do I have enough followers? Am I popular? If you fall into that trap, you'll never feel good about yourself because you'll always see someone that's more talented, more beautiful, more successful. And there will be this pressure to outperform, outdress, have more friends, more talents, more compliments. That's a never-ending cycle. That's not only going to wear you out and take your joy, your peace, but you'll miss who you were created to be trying to keep up with everyone else. Take that pressure off yourself. That's what's causing anxiety. Well, how can I keep up? You don't have to keep up. You're not competing with them. Run your race. Be who God made you to be. Well, I can't do what they can do. They can't do what you can do. You're talented. You're gifted. They're so beautiful. You're so beautiful. You're a masterpiece. You're made in the image of God. Well, they're more popular. Popularity is fleeting. It can change in a minute. Psalm 55, David was dealing with anxiety. He said, I'm overwhelmed with trouble. My enemies are making loud threats. My heart is anxious with so much fear and trembling, I can't stop shaking. That's some serious anxiety. Now, David was a warrior. He had defeated Goliath, conquered cities, led the Israelites into great victories, but now he's overwhelmed, so anxious that he can't move forward. Dealing with anxiety doesn't mean that you're weak. You don't have enough faith. You must have done something wrong. The enemy wouldn't be trying to stop you if he didn't know there was a calling on your life. He knows there's greatness in you, that you're on the verge of seeing a new level. That's why he'll try to make you feel overwhelmed, worried about the future, thinking it's not going to work out. Thoughts will tell you it's never going to change. You'll always have to deal with this anxiety. Don't believe those lies. The anxiety is not permanent. It's not going to last forever. It's a season. This too shall pass. Now, sometimes God will bring you out quickly. Other times He'll take you little by little. Don't be discouraged if you don't see anything changing. God is working. Every day you need to declare, I'm getting better. My mind is at peace. My heart is at rest. I am free from this anxiety.